The demographic of the mid-size sedan shopper has been changing over time, as I've said before, and that's exactly why Nissan decided to do something very bold with the 2019 Nissan Altima. We have an all-new vehicle inside and outside, and most importantly, under the hood. We have two engines now available for 2019, a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine that's all new, and a variable compression turbocharged engine borrowed from the Infiniti lineup. Making it even more interesting for 2019, Nissan is also going to be offering all-wheel drive for the first time in the Altima, adding this to a very select number of mid-size sedans available in America with that particular feature. The all-wheel drive system is quite similar to what we see in Nissan's crossovers. It can lock the center coupling and give us a 50-50 power split front-rear, or it can completely disconnect the rear axle in order to improve efficiency in steady-state highway travel. The availability of all-wheel drive really will make the Altima an interesting contender in this segment, because up till now, Subaru has been the only company giving us an affordable all-wheel drive mid-size sedan. You can get all-wheel drive in something like the Ford Fusion, but you'll only find it in the top-end trims, and it's going to be an awful lot more expensive than a base Altima with the all-wheel drive option. Now, all-wheel drive will only be available with the base 2.5-liter four-cylinder naturally aspirated engine. That engine produces 188 horsepower and 180 pound-feet of torque, which is a little bit ahead of last year's 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, but it's obviously not as powerful as the all-new variable compression turbo engine. That engine gives you 248 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. Like most Nissans, power is routed to the wheels via a continuously variable transmission. Compared to the previous generation Altima, the new one is about 1 inch lower in terms of height, 1 inch longer in length, and about an inch wider as well. Because Nissan didn't have to design this model to accommodate their V6 engine, they've been able to shrink the overhang, and that's the distance between the front wheels and the very front of the vehicle, to give it a better proportion overall. Be sure and let me know what you think about the overall look, including that very large grille that we see up front down there in the comments section below. On the inside, Nissan has mixed things up a little bit by giving us a standard 8-inch color touchscreen display and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in every trim. These were features that were definitely lacking in the last generation base Altima. Honda and Toyota have been very aggressive at putting their latest active safety systems in all trims, including the base trims of their midsize sedans. So for 2019, Nissan is doing some of the same. We get automatic emergency braking in the base model, as well as collision warning, and a system that detects whether the driver is fatigued or not. But we don't get radar adaptive cruise control in the base model like we do find in some of the competition. However, you can get that optionally in some models, and it's standard in SV, SL, and Platinum grades. Also standard in SV, SL, and Platinum is their new ProPilot Assist system. This is a semi-autonomous driving system that requires your hands still be on the wheel, but it provides almost all of the effort required to stay in your lane, and it will navigate stop-and-go traffic. Think of this as a system that is designed to reduce driver fatigue in stop-and-go traffic or on long highway journeys. In addition to those features, you'll also be able to get rear automatic braking, lane departure warning, blind spot warning, rear cross-traffic detection, and automatic high beams. All the specifications definitely look good on the new Altima, including the new, much wider tires that we find in top-end trims, but what impressed me most at the New York Auto Show was actually the interior of the Altima. The interior of the previous generation Altima was clean and comfortable, but it didn't really come across as the most premium in the segment. But based on our impression of the new 2019 Altima here at the New York Auto Show, the interior really will give the Honda Accord and the new Toyota Camry a run for their money. We will, of course, have to wait till we can get our hands on one to give you a final verdict, but expect the Altima to be very comfortable and be one of the better deals in this segment. That's something that we've seen out of the Altima in the past, and I don't expect Nissan to drop that for the new model. It's likely that the Camry V6 and the Honda Accord 2.0T will be a little bit faster 0 to 60 than the Nissan. The recently refreshed Mazda 6 is likely to be a little bit more dynamic out on the road than the Nissan Altima. That's something that we've seen from both of those brands in the past, but none of the vehicles that we've talked about so far, except of course for the Subaru Legacy, offers all-wheel drive across its entire lineup, and that really will be the big differentiator for the new Altima. Nissan hasn't said exactly when the Altima will go on sale, but expect to see it in dealer lots at the end of the 2018 calendar year. It appears that Nissan is showing off the new Altima a little bit early, and we won't actually be able to drive one for a number of months, probably not until fall of 2018. So be sure and stay tuned, hit that subscribe button down there at the bottom of your screen, and let me know what you think about the inside and the outside look of the new Altima. So far, I really like what I'm seeing out of the Altima. We have a front end that I think is a little bit more attractive than what we see in the current generation Honda Accord or the Toyota Camry, And it appears that Nissan is not giving up on interior comfort, especially that back seat, where we have seen vehicles like the Honda Accord reduce headroom, or the trunk, which has always been a hallmark of the Altima. And if you're looking for a really great buy on a base model, the Altima might be that as well, because Nissan is not giving us all the same level of feature content in that base model that we do see in the Toyota and the Honda, and that likely is going to make its base model notably less expensive.